A first-grade teacher in Hamilton County has been indicted on child sexual abuse charges. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield.
And I'm Josh Rowe. This according to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. This is a picture of the teacher, Dwayne Sanders, archived by the Wayback Machine. Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says while investigating, several children were identified as potential victims.
News Channel 9's Jacqueline Davis is working to learn more. Jacqueline, how is the district responding to this news?
Kim, Josh, parents are kind of frustrated with this whole situation, but first grade teacher Dane Sanders says that he has been suspended now with no pay while investigators for police and the DA are trying to figure out his possible sex crimes with young students here at Wallace A. Smith Elementary. Parents we spoke to this afternoon couldn't believe an employee here is facing these kinds of charges. 2 weeks ago, school officials were told by the Department of Children's Services they opened an investigation. According to Hamilton County School spokesman Steve Doremus, the DA met with school leaders laying out what they knew. Investigators say there could be more victims in this case. The district said in a statement, quote, "These allegations are devastating. We are heartbroken at the thought of any school system employee who would harm a child." Now, Sanders' bond has been set at $1.3 million, and he is being booked into Hamilton County Jail System later this afternoon. I'm in Ottawa. Jacqueline Davis reporting for News Channel 9.
Jacqueline, thank you. According to the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, Sanders will be in court on March 29th. Taking a look at how the Hamilton County teachers and parents can help their children after deputies arrested one teacher they say sexually abused students. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield.
And I'm Josh Rowe. Yesterday we told you about Dwayne Sanders, a first grade teacher at Wallace A. Smith Elementary School, was arrested and charged by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. In the past 2 hours, we've learned what those charges are. They include 5 counts of continuous sexual child abuse, 4 counts of aggravated sexual battery, and 1 count of aggravated child rape. Deputies say they have identified several children as potential victims.
Sam Pena breaks down what recovery could look like for the kids involved.
A heartbreaking revelation for parents at Wallace A. Smith Elementary after first grade teacher Dwayne Sanders was indicted on charges of child sexual abuse. Now we're working to learn how parents and teachers can help their children heal.
It's hard to hear, it's hard to think about.
A difficult conversation to navigate.
We really need to focus on these kids, on these parents, these families, and these teachers.
The indictment of first grade teacher Dwayne Sanders for child sexual abuse sent shockwaves through the school district and brings to light an issue child therapist Elliot Pinsley says requires time and patience.
It's going to be a challenge for the teachers to be the primary flag bearers for making sure these children feel safe.
Pinsley says communication between parents and teachers is critical to help victims heal, since distrust can linger after cases of abuse by a teacher.
Our responsibility to create safe spaces for kids to say, I feel uncomfortable.
Kristen Pavlik-McCauley with the Children's Advocacy Center in Hamilton County says resources for children suffering from abuse are needed more than ever.
Our organization provides services to kiddos who are alleged victims of abuse of all kinds.
She says the county saw 887 cases of child abuse last year, a crisis they hope to address with resources like free therapy sessions for student victims.
Validate them, call them brave, tell them they're doing something really significant because they are.
But while available through CACH, statewide, these resources are scarce. The Association of American Medical Colleges says Tennessee only has 1 mental health professional per 740 residents.
That's frightening. That's really frightening.
A crisis, Pinsley says, if addressed properly, can provide safe havens for our most vulnerable children.
If we get the right supports and mental health resources in place, we can help people heal and move forward in a positive way.
Reporting in Chattanooga, Sam Pena, News Channel 9.
And Sanders' bond has been set at $1.3 million. He's set to appear in court in 1 week. 5 more children in Hamilton County have accused a former elementary school teacher of sexual abuse.
But defense attorneys are now calling for a judge to dismiss an indictment against that teacher. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Josh Rowe.
And I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield. A former Wallace A. Smith elementary teacher, Dwayne Sanders, was arraigned on new charges, including continuous sexual child abuse and sexual battery this morning.
Sanders received 4 similar charges earlier this year. During a June court hearing, a detective said 12 students accused Sanders of abuse during the last school year alone. News Channel 9 Sam Pena, what we learned about the suspect in the courtroom today and what will come next.
The severity is something this court has never seen. Those are the words of one Hamilton County judge as Dwayne Sanders faces 5 new victims and sexual abuse charges.
They're not going to sexually assault children that don't like them. It's called grooming.
In June, Hamilton County DA Cody Wamp said it was only a matter of time.
This is what sex offenders do.
Until Dwayne Sanders would face more charges.
10 counts in the first indictment, there are 19 in the second indictment.
Now, 5 former students of Sanders. The state says he's sexually abused, bringing the total to 9 and with more possible.
There were more children that made allegations. However, due to the sensitivity of this case, the state did give victims and families opportunities should they decide they did not want to participate.
The new indictment includes the previous victims and charges, leading Sanders' attorney to ask for the first indictment to be dismissed.
If the state can't proceed under both indictments, I'm not sure why they both need to still be active.
Arguing that jurors could accidentally see 29 charges instead of 19.
Whether it's 10 or 19 or 29, that's a lot.
Judge Steelman allowed both indictments to stay while the state works to complete their investigation.
For safety purposes of making sure that nothing is lost or misplaced or anything like that, that the original indictment stay in place.
Into a case that Steelman says he's never seen before.
I spent 12 years almost in the DA's office and now the year 17 on the bench and haven't had a case like this.
In Chattanooga, Sam Pena, News Channel 9.
Online records show Sanders volunteered at 4 other Hamilton County schools before he became a teacher at Wallace A. Smith. Tonight, questions about the admissibility of children's testimony in the sex abuse case of a former Hamilton County teacher.
Dwayne Sanders taught first grade at Wallace A. Smith Elementary, among other schools. His trial was set to begin August 12th.
But this could change after a motion to determine whether videotaped interviews with the alleged victims are admissible. Here's A.C. Barker with an update.
More than 1 year after a former Hamilton County school teacher was accused of sexually abusing children, a court hearing Monday discussed if there was enough evidence for this case to move forward.
The court was provided the forensic interviews relative to the hearings that this court are conducting this week. The state will be showing portions of each video.
Prosecutors played one of those taped interviews in the courtroom. This after Dwayne Sanders is accused of committing 19 sex crimes against 9 different children. We were unable to obtain footage of the video. That's per the judge's orders of protecting the child's identity. Forensic interview coordinator Brenda Reed Brown says in her first interview with the child, he did not disclose any information regarding abuse.
Yes, children who often, male children have a very difficult time disclosing. Children who have a very personal relationship with an alleged offender, they have a difficult time disclosing.
But after asking to come back and talk to Reed Brown a second time, video shows the child saying, quote, "Mr. Sanders accidentally touched my private spots, the one I used to go to the bathroom." The child then indicating it had happened more than once, saying he would pretend to ignore it. The child's mother then taking the stand, saying her son brought this to her attention when she asked about a hole in his underwear.
He was 7 at the time, actually, and he said, "Oh, yes, I know about that hole, Mommy. That's where Mr. Sanders touches my penis."
The mother said she then filed a report with the child abuse hotline and called the police the next morning. She says this situation has impacted her son's life at school.
He's lost a lot of friends. He has no one to blame with.
When he's at school, he has no one to play with. Is that what you said?
Yeah, because all his friends are not there anymore.
What came into question following this tape is whether or not Reed Brown followed protocol when asking the child these questions. That answer remains unknown as this discussion is set to resume on Tuesday. I'm A.C. Barker, Fox Chattanooga.
Sanders did not enter a plea when he appeared in court back in April of last year.